there's not. How do you have 100 different feelings about a movie? Because if you go 1.1, 1.2, like all the way up to 9.9 and 10 to 10, that's 100 points. You have 100 different feelings.
You can't tell me that because why is freaking Lysol 99% then just put the 100?
Welcome to the Fourth Act, our entertainment podcast where once a week we discuss a topic in TV, movies, and more. My name is Gabe, and once again, his return to the podcast, Mochi Gome / Floor Scump / Big Brother Auggie.
I don't even... You took all the names. I don't even know what to do.
Yeah, you don't even know what to do anymore.
You
need to have a signature. Hey, guys.
Yeah, I need to make a new...
A hand gesture.
I'll come with a new name.
No, you have enough names. That's not the problem. Anyway, today we're back in our Versus series. This is round 3 of our Versus series. Probably the most random. For those who don't know, our Versus series includes us showing each other movies that we've never seen. So I recommended Auggie Barbarian. He recommended me Den of Thieves. This is the most random shit ever. A horror movie and this like B action movie.
Yeah.
But before we get into it, of course, we appreciate all support. If you like the video, definitely like, comment. If you've seen any of these movies, any thoughts, so go ahead and comment. Subscribe, most importantly. We're trying to get to 75 still. We're going to get there. Like, eventually, we have to, right?
What are we at right now?
66. We've got, like, 1 recently. We'll get there.
Giveaway. You got to give a movie away.
We're going to give away this used Dr. Pepper. As a matter of fact, turn that around. They're not paying us.
See?
Okay. Did the promo, explained it a little bit. First, we're going to go into the movie that I recommended him, which is Barbarian. Little quick plot synopsis for you. Now, this synopsis kind of sucks. I kind of just looked at Wikipedia, but let's just run with it. Barbarian is a 2022 American horror thriller film written and directed by Zach Krager. Never heard of him. As a matter of fact, I think there's a story. We'll get into that in a bit. Yeah. In his solo screenwriting and directorial debut, it is produced by Arnon Milchan, Roy Lee, Raphael Margulis, and J.D. Lifshitz. Yeah, this is a terrible synopsis, but let's keep it going. The film stars Georgina Campbell, Bill Skarsgård, and Justin Long. The plot sees a woman find out that the rental home she reserved has been accidentally double booked by a man not knowing of a dark secret within the dwelling. See, it got good at the end.
Yeah.
Auggie, first time watching Barbarian. What'd you think?
I didn't watch the trailer. I didn't watch anything.
That's good.
I just
good.
Watched it.
You went in raw.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember exactly how it started exactly, because I was like, what kind of freaking movie is this? Like, I didn't...
Okay, well, expectations. As the movie's starting, where do you think this is going?
I thought it was going to be like a freaking... Well, at first I thought it was that other movie.
Which one?
I thought it was that one where he's like a freaking Viking or whatever. And he's not a Viking. He's in the woods.
The Northman?
Yeah.
We talked about it at the end of the last episode.
So, yeah, that's what I thought it was. And
but even now?
No.
Okay.
Then I didn't know what it was. That's why I was like... she pulls up to the house, huh? She pulls up to the house and shit.
First shot is just straight up on the house.
So yeah, I thought it because it said horror thriller on the app. So I was like, okay, it's gonna be a ghost shit.
Well, you did ask me a little bit at the end of the last episode too about like whether it was gonna be like a ghost thing or like a serial killer thing. It ended up being like none. That's why I didn't know what to tell you. And I didn't want to tell you anyway, but
I still don't know. But
okay.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be another ghost thing, and then once we saw the guy from It,
Bill Skarsgård,
that's his name.
Bill.
Bill.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna be the killer. I thought he was gonna be the killer until he left his wallet and shit. I was like, you know what? He's not. I was like, it's probably a guy renting out the Airbnb, right? And then he's killing them together and shit because their stories were just too. It was a coincidence. I was like, he probably has a specific type of person he kills. Then I thought it was a ghost shit again when the door was open.
A ghost shit?
No, I thought it was some like paranormal.
Yeah.
because the doors open again. Shit was closing on its own.
They set it up that way, like the doors creaking open, and then he's like having
like
nightmares.
3 different movies for one.
Yeah,
it's like 3 different freaking movies. I was like,
overall, you kind of like already started getting into it. Did you like it? Did you hate it?
Yeah, well, I liked it. I like you're lucky the second half because, like I said,
really,
when I saw that freaking thing come out,
yeah,
in the tunnel
at the end of the first, I think it's like 40 minutes in, so more than like a third.
I was like, this piece of shit sent me another movie where it's like some random ass twist where it's like a whole different, like it's like a sci-fi.
Yeah, and you were off camera. You were already comparing it to *Malignant*.
Yeah,
which was like this movie was kind of this movie was kind of being like compared to that. They're saying, "Oh, this is this year's *Malignant*." So I knew something was weird was gonna happen.
Yeah, and then for a little bit I was like, you know what? This is a movie where it's like it's almost like a show. There's 3 different parts to this movie, and it's like this is the Barbarian. Like I don't know what the freak how it's gonna match up, but the first movie I'll explain is when the girl at Airbnb, she sees the little sex freaking what would you call it? Torture room?
Yeah. Well, that's the end of it.
So then they get caught in the basement. They see that thing, that freaking naked mutant, because she's big, huh? She's like a freaking...
Yeah, and they explain it off later of like, oh, he was like raping girls and then having babies with them and then having babies with those babies and babies with those babies. And then eventually you get that. I was like, I don't know. No, that doesn't work for me.
That's what I said. I still don't know what it is. But anyways, that's why I was like, first it was that.
Yeah.
It was like a little torture room right there. Then it went back to like the other guy, and then I was like, all right, this guy's losing his job. He's getting canceled. He's going to end up going to the house, too, and it's going to kill him. And it's just a bunch of different stories, like an
anthology, like...
Yeah, we're just seeing it. But I started liking how this dude's doing shit. He's doing shit, and then...
What do you mean, the actor? Or whatever... director, whatever he was, writer.
Yeah. He's just like living, and then she's down there in the basement. Like we know she's in the basement down there.
Yeah.
And he's doing
and like she like
club,
like carefully put the chair right there so she can escape and everything. The guy just comes like, "What the fuck?" and he just moves the chair, closes it.
Moving shit.
We'll talk about him in a bit.
So yeah, he that was that movie, and then when he freaking gets trapped.
It switches again.
And I was like, all right, it goes back to this dude. And I was like, all right, it's going to be the origin of how this shit happened. And then I was like,
even frame different, too. Like, it's like the box. I think it's like, what is that, 16 by 9? Or 4:3? That's what it is. Like,
and then it just slowly goes together. Like, he had the house first. He probably lost it or some shit. Or he went underground.
Yeah, it looks like... He already had his whole operation there, and I think it was just too difficult to move. So he just stayed there, and it's Detroit, so that's when everything was going to shit. Everybody's moving out. Yeah, so he just stayed, built tunnels.
Yeah, so he ends up staying there. I guess has that shit. I didn't understand how that happened. I was like, maybe he found a freaking mutant or some shit, and then he was like, I'm just going to keep it here. Or he slept with it, and then he's like, now I'm going to... Like, they couldn't have a baby, because I was like, what's its obsession
with babies?
But I guess it only had that one video, like...
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you gonna do? It's trying to be a mom and shit. But yeah, when I saw that thing, I was like, this mother sucker, dude. He put me in this. He made me watch this shit. Another one.
Well, that's why I wanted you to watch this, not because I thought.
Then I felt that again when she's all giving the bottle and shit. She's just down there, just. I was like, this dude. I was like,
I didn't recommend this movie to you thinking that you were gonna love it. I didn't even know if you were gonna like it. I thought you would think it was okay, whatever.
I like the way it was shot.
Oh, yeah. And again, directorial debut. Like, I think that what I was going to tell you about this director is I think they made that movie Sex Drive. I think. Remember that movie where, like, it's a raunchy comedy about this one guy going to, like his girlfriend's like a Playboy bunny or something, or, like, ex-girlfriend, something like that.
Sounds familiar, but...
And then they, like, drive... Whatever.
I'm thinking of the other one.
The scene that I remember is, like, there's one girl's, like, in the back of the RV or bus or whatever, and then, like, they hit a ditch... She flies out the window.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's just this dumb, raunchy comedy. And then turns out he's taking a break. And I think he like wrote that movie. Like he's like a comedian. And yeah, this is directorial debut. And again, like a comedian or a guy that comes from a comedic background is good with horror.
Yeah.
And you're right. Yeah, it was shot very well. And then even when we go to like that third movie, like his name's Frank. When you go to like to Frank's origin, It's shot different, and I don't know like how like the lens looks, but it looks like it's like there's more depth, like it's deeper.
Yeah.
So, do you have any other general thoughts?
I mean, the only other thing would be that homeless dude. He like, they lived with it there. They already knew and shit. Like they're like, she comes out at night. He's like, I live by the water tower.
I was wondering though, why would you stay there if you know? But he explained later. I lived here for 15 years and she's never been in here.
They had to do that funny scene where she's like, she's never been through here, and then it was actually 3 times that shit happened. When I first seen that girl, I was like, what the frick is she doing in here? For one, I was like when we first seen her. Yeah, I was like, there's like so many different stories. Like there's girls trying to get hired, so she comes to Detroit. The other guy's losing his freaking, like, let's all connect it back to the house. The other guy's losing all his shit, so he goes to Detroit to, like, see how much he can make off this house he owns or some shit. The other old guy has lived there, hasn't left at all. The homeless people already lived with this thing, and they know, like, hey, someone probably broke in there, and then they probably killed him or some shit, but so then there's this old, not only did he stay there, he like tortured other girls and shit, and he lives down there.
Yeah.
And then it's like this like 6 different movies in this shit.
We went from 3 to 6.
There's like,
those are called plot lines.
They all have their own story, but it's like you could have made a movie off of every single one. Like,
so you don't think they like blended well together at the end?
I thought, because when at first I was like, okay, this guy from It, he's going to do a psychological freaking horror movie. I was like, that's why he told me to watch this shit, because it's about the boy and all that. Oh, no. Before that, it was the shot. The way that it was shot when he's like, if you want to come in, you can come in.
And we'll get into all like the details right now, because I have questions like about that as well.
Yeah, so so that was one thing. And then the second one, I was like, all right, it's gonna be like The Boy, where this barbarian dude's living in the walls, or maybe even next door, and he just comes at night and messes with them and shit.
Yeah.
So then I was like, no. Then it turns into like Don't Breathe and shit, where this guy's freaking, he has his own torture room down there.
Is that what Don't Breathe is about?
Don't Breathe? Is that
no? Like that's the movie with the blind guy, but is he torturing people?
Yeah, I'm telling you, 2-minute thing right here. I can give it to you, dude. 2-minute thing. I'm gonna ruin it. I don't give a shit.
Fine. Spoilers for Don't Breathe.
Yeah, I think he had a daughter or some shit, and she ended up dying. The girl crashed into her, and she ended up dying, like in a car crash. So he ends up kidnapping that girl, and then he freaking he holds her, like he holds her in the basement, and then he makes her have a kid and all that.
Jesus, yeah, pretty similar to this movie.
Yeah, and then I don't know why he gets that new girl. The new girl, I don't know if it's a coincidence or I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, he ends up getting her and all that shit. But yeah, he's blind. I think he's blind. But yeah, he goes across his house and he has like certain like indents in the wall. He can feel where he's at, like living room. This one's even though he's blind and he has bells and shit. But this girl had a bell, and they made it seem crazy because that dude's like, she's not even the worst thing in there.
Yeah.
So they made it,
I think that was supposed to be more of like the man is the worst.
That old guy's the monster and shit. Like he's more of a monster than she is. But it's like,
and let me get into like my thoughts of this movie, because the second time I noticed it a lot more. But this movie is like a huge commentary on men and women. Like at first we have that conversation with Bill Skarsgård, his character. I have it right here. His name was
Keith.
Keith, yes. I have so many notes here. I need to start highlighting names. I have Keith. It Pennywise. Keith, and then whatever. What's her name too? You have it right there.
Tess.
Keith and Tess. That when they have that conversation after they started drinking wine and getting more comfortable and all that, she says like, "Oh, if the roles were flipped, like I would not have let you in here." Yeah. So there's a commentary on that, and we start off with her, and then on top of that, like the monster itself is like tortured by this man who's like very evil, and then the other character we have is a man who has raped as well. So it's just like this commentary on like evil men, and then not so much on women. I mean, I thought there might be something there. The
homeless guy was the only good guy there. Oh, well, I guess Keith too.
Keith too, yeah.
Keith was too good.
Yeah, so this time around, I kind of like broke it down where it is 3 different stories, like chapters, but it is kind of like 3 different men. Like first we got like the really like handsome, good-looking dude. But right away, maybe that's why they casted him as Pennywise. That way we at least feel some threat. But right away, you're just like, yeah, this guy's like too nice. Like, bullshit. There's something wrong here. He's acting like he's like helping her out, but he's really trying to get her in there. And like at one,
scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't get into that why he's having like nightmares and all jumpy, but whatever. Didn't need to. But then like when she's running up, like when he saves her when she's stuck down there, when she sees the room for the first time, he's like kind of like blocking her from leaving. So it's kind of like you still don't trust him. And then like the second part, we right away learn that guy did rape somebody, right? Like he's like he's a writer or a producer, something. But he definitely did rape somebody, use his power.
I mean, he tells the guy, but you could definitely know that he's even lying to the guy.
Yeah, they did the whole thing like, dude, she definitely wanted it. Are you talking about to his friend?
Yeah, but you could definitely tell he lied because he throws her off, and then when he goes down there, he's like, I was just doing it just to.
Oh, you mean at the very end?
Yeah.
When he throws her off like what is that?
A water tower.
I thought, they throws off like a water tower or something. And like he's just like a little weasel, just trying to get out of situations.
He could have lied right there and be like, "I knew she was gonna die for your ass."
Yeah,
like, Austin Powers, that shit.
I thought they were gonna try to redeem him because he shoots her, and then accidentally, when he's escaping, he shoots her in like the stomach, whatever. And then he picks her up, and they escape. And then that monster girl is chasing them. They go up the water tower, but before that, they go to the homeless guy, and he's all talking about like maybe he says, maybe he's thinking out loud, like, oh, I think I'm a bad guy, whatever. Like I did a bad thing. And then he starts like double guessing that. He's like, maybe I'm just a good guy that did a bad thing. So I was just like, oh my god, like, they're gonna try to redeem him. Like we already know he raped a girl. How are you gonna redeem him?
I thought for a little bit he was gonna tackle it off and like go die with it, but then he's like, no, I could escape.
That's the thing. So it made it look like they're gonna redeem him, and like legit 2 minutes later, they didn't let you like hang on that. Like 2 minutes later, he throws off this girl who went back down there to save him, throws her off the water tower to save himself.
Oh my God, are you okay? I'm so sorry. I had no choice, She was gonna kill us both, and I had no time to think. I fucking panicked. I didn't even let go. You started to slip.
Well, I mean, he constantly, like, right when she breaks the wall, he runs.
Yeah.
He runs off, so it's like he constantly runs, like, tries to save himself.
Yeah. I thought it was funny when they were downstairs, or they were in, like, what would you call it? Just the cave? I don't know. When they were, like, all the way down there, he kept pointing. First, he had a flashlight. He was pointing the flashlight like a gun. And then he had his phone, and he was, like, using it like a gun. And then it finally got to the point where he did have a gun. And there was a shot of him looking all cool with the gun. That guy's hilarious. That dude doesn't age, man. He looks the same. And he's kind of like a horror icon. Justin Long.
Yeah.
He was in Tusk. Jeepers Creepers. Something else, too. He's kind of like a horror icon. But then anyway, then we get the third chapter of this, like, truly, like, just evil, awful person who is, like, a serial rapist. And you can see like the cages. I like that we didn't see anything. Like we didn't see the footage. We just saw people react to it because he would tape what he would do to the girls. And then there was cages with like dog bowls in them and shit. And then like later Justin Long picks up the dress from the flashback that we seen when he was like following that girl.
Yeah.
So, showing that he got her. So I like that a lot of that stuff was alluded to, but it wasn't shown. It didn't need to be. But yeah, I don't know if you caught on to that like commentary on men and women. And how pretty much they're just saying men are awful, or at least capable of awful things.
No, well, I mean, that guy does say he's seen girls do something too, now that you say it.
Which one, Justin Long?
When they're having
in the
conversation.
beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's usually how that conversation goes. It's like, it's not a man thing, it's everybody. Everybody could be evil, right?
No, it was just that shit threw me off, that freaking Hills Have Eyes. I thought it was going to be like a Hills Have Eyes type shit. Like, maybe that's what they were going for too. Because the Hills Have Eyes people, they're like that, aren't they? Like, they're all inbred. Like,
I think so. I've seen that movie when I was in
But why are they
fourth
mutants?
grade.
That don't make no sense.
Like, in the Hills Have Eyes?
In any of them, like, what?
You just need a threat.
There's like, you become so mutant.
You're so weak. Yeah, because if you're not eating right, drinking properly, unless you're eating people. Like, either way, if you're eating people, how are you getting, like, super strength?
That protein, huh? He's like... That's...
So,
that would be my only thing is they could have left that girl completely out. They could have had the old guy still live there.
No, but he was all right. Well, what do you think about that old guy? Like, I feel like why did he kill himself right there?
Because he said there's gonna be cops all around this place.
Yeah.
He's like, no,
So you just figure like he was never found. So like as soon as he got found, he was just like, all right, time to go. He was old.
Well, I
as
mean,
shit
he probably
anyway.
hasn't seen somebody in a long time. I don't know if the girl was giving him like some of the people. Who knows?
Yeah, there was something there because he had to have eaten.
But she was scared to go to the door. Oh, that's what I was saying. They made it seem like, even though they're saying, oh, he's more of a monster than the damn mutant and shit, but it's like,
he wasn't even a threat.
I thought we were going to see a family of them down there because he was like, that's not even the worst of them. And she got scared to go to the door, so I was like, it's going to be her dad or some shit. I completely forgot about the old guy.
Yeah.
I was like, it's going to be like a mutant freaking...
A bigger threat?
Like maybe she just can't have a kid or something.
They didn't need it.
Might as well. She busted a wall.
Ba ba. Ba 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 ba.
And then she let herself get shot now that she says shit.
I don't think she was smart enough to know what a gun was. I think she just saw her baby in trouble, whatever.
I guess, yeah.
So she was only raised like by that video. So I think that's why she
didn't get
was
to see it like as a threat to her.
No,
she was
no.
like, oh, it's just like a...
I don't think she had any thought to it. Yeah. Ba ba. Ba ba.
She got...
So, did you think, going back to the beginning, because I honestly think the best parts of this movie, I think that the movie, as soon as you see the monster, and that's usually the case for horror movies, as soon as you see the monster, it's kind of like, all right, like the threat's gone, the mystery's gone, I'm not tense anymore, I'm not scared. But like at first, I love that build
part
up.
was him crawling.
Yeah, that little jump scare.
Yeah,
that's in the trailer.
What the hell?
That's in the
like,
trailer. It's a good thing you didn't see it.
I was like, this dude's all crawling real quick. I was like, oh shit.
And now that I knew what it was and I was watching it the second time, I don't know how she doesn't make that much noise. Like, so the door opens and you kind of hear like something like scatter away, like tick, tick, tick. She's a big ass mutant girl, so I don't think that really makes sense. But you kind of hear her like at least I thought like sucking on like the bottle. It sounds like that. Like you hear that noise. But either way, like knowing how she is, like what she is, why did she just like crack open the door and then just like run away? Wouldn't you think she'd be all like, and like grab them and shit? I know, it's just a movie. It's just to build up the tension, but still.
Yeah, I was still thinking because he says something bit me.
Well, that's when they're at the bottom already. But I'm talking about when they're on top and it's at night and they don't know that there's something there.
And you're...
I'm just saying it doesn't make sense that knowing her character now, why she wouldn't just like take them. Since she's all aggressive and running around and doing whatever she wants. Like the mutant girl.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, he was there already. Maybe she's like that one dude. He was already sleeping, I guess, and she woke him up. So I don't know. Did he get there that night? Like, I'm
assuming, yeah.
Because if he was there that night, he says she comes out at night. So then they were still awake. So she was probably like, "Oh shit, let them freaking go to sleep." And then she was looking at him. She's like, "Oh, there's two of them."
Hey, she's all making a plan.
Well, I mean, she's probably like, "Oh shit." That's why I'm like, does she take them to the guy? Because who knows? But maybe before.
Looks like she just takes them for her toys. I mean, she has her own little cave. She treats them like babies. Maybe after a while, because they're gonna have to die eventually.
This
maybe
is like
then.
This guy had one movie left, and he was like, "Throw all my scripts together." I
don't think it's as messy as you're saying it is, but I don't think it's that great either.
He put it together nicely,
mm-hmm.
But it seems like there's a bunch of different shit where it's like some of them had too much backstory. Like the old guy, we
got like 5 minutes with him. It was just weird that he was still there just to die.
But it's almost like he had these sex cages, and he never got caught. His movie, there was never a girl that broke out.
See, you're trying to make spin-offs again. Look at you.
That's what I'm saying.
You want the prequel already?
He never got caught, and he got to the extent where he made a Hills Have Eyes character.
Yeah.
So now he has a Hills Have Eyes character, and he's just like, you know what? I'm too old to use this sex dungeon. You can use it, so you can keep him. And
I don't think so. I think I don't think he'd get out of bed. Like, he looks so weak just opening the drawer. I think he's so old and, like, dead, decrepit, that, like, once he saw that somebody else found him, it was time to just kill himself. But I think, like, he was just so done and gone. Like, I don't think, like, there was a plan
That's a whole
anymore.
movie on its own.
Him dying?
No, him and him stealing girls and doing all that shit. Then
it's not a good movie.
Then you got a whole nother movie of hiding a freaking mutant. That's a whole nother movie. Then you got a whole nother movie of this girl coming with this guy, raping this girl. That's a whole nother movie right there. That's 3 movies.
I think those are plots. I don't think those are movies or subplots. Like, I don't think we needed to go any deeper.
They just had a lot of backstory of these characters. Like, this could have been a show or some shit. Like,
I don't think so. That's not a good show.
But it's a good movie?
You want the 6-episode arc of this man chasing women down and breaking in their windows and pretending to be a plumber or whatever.
See, well, that's what I'm saying. That's one movie right there. We're on the mutant one now. Like, going on now, like, this is the aftermath of this guy. So if that old guy didn't do what he did, you're gonna say we didn't get the mutant, we didn't get this place, we don't get the Airbnb. The whole movie doesn't happen.
I think that's the point of the movie, though, is that like it's unlocking. Like, it's a mystery, right? Like we're going backwards to get more.
Yeah.
Like, it does start off just like, oh, like it's gonna be like this killer boyfriend type character, and then it turns into this mutant thing, and it's like, okay, now let's explain how we got to the mutant thing.
It's just crazy. It's like Superbad did it too with the item 9. There's like, oh, what's the freaking chance?
Pineapple Express.
Oh yeah, Pineapple Express. With the item 9, they it ended up being in the lab and all this shit. Like, they just threw that shit in there. It seems like this shit too. There's like, oh yeah, the old guy. They're like, yeah, we got this mutant. How did we get it?
But yeah, I think it's there just for, like, again, like more commentary on like men being evil and him making this evil woman, this mutant evil woman.
This is a crazy.
Well, how else would you explain an evil mutant woman? Like, that's just the way that they did it. I'm not telling you to come up with it right now, but I'm just saying, like, that. All that is just explaining the origin. That's it. Like, it's not like there's anything deeper than that. We didn't need to go deeper. We got like a 3-minute
too
scene.
deep on certain shit. And then, you know what's funny too is, like, they go to the basement. The basement was a mystery for one. So the basement already looked crazy. Then the basement had a basement that had the cell or the dungeon. And then they opened another one with the freaking SpongeBob string. And then you go all the way down in the tunnels.
Wait a second. That's barely the same. You said there's a basement in a basement, and then they open up.
Yeah, so they go down.
There's
right?
a regular basement.
Regular basement.
And then there's the first room that we see with the bloody hand.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't go lower, but it's still same floor, but you open that, and then there's
and then SpongeBob string.
And then
that's a weird pool. I know what you're talking about.
They kept going deeper. I was like, are they going to hell at this point? I was like, because they kept going down, but this dude had tunnels. Like, he had the whole barrier. Like,
you definitely need to like just get on the ride, because like, how did he make all these tunnels?
Yeah.
Like, sure, it's been years, but
at least Gabriel from
Malignant.
At least they were they
they
stuck with the story. They're just like, you know what?
That movie is over the top, and it's supposed to be funny. Like, this one, it does like try something similar, which is like, we're gonna be over the top, and I don't think it's that great, but
he was funny movies, right?
This guy,
yeah,
but this is definitely not supposed to be funny.
Who did Malignant?
James Wan.
Funny?
No, James Wan, man. He made Saw.
No,
he did make one of the Fast and Furious. I forgot which one. I think it's like 7.
That name looks freaking familiar.
He did Aquaman. He did Aquaman. He did Saw. I think he did the first Conjuring.
Jordan Peele is the best one then.
What do you mean? Like comedy turned horror?
Yeah.
Name another one.
What?
Comedy turned horror.
Well, I'm barely finding this out, but it's a coincidence.
Already, like, he's the best one. It's a
coincidence that these guys make, like, it's just random shit where it's just like plot twist, like.
You got to keep things interesting, otherwise, you know.
You see that chess player, the girl? She went poker.
Is this going to be a clip? Is this a clip in the making right now? The chess girl that went poker.
No, I'm just comparing it.
No, go ahead.
She went to poker and she can strategize what people are going to do. So she knew that the guy was lying before he even did anything. So she was betting him up, and then she forced him to show his shit. And
show his hand.
She turned like 10,000 into like 190 on her, but
Jesus.
she's going against pros. Like she never played anything.
Yeah.
And the other people, like the world class people, they're watching her and they're like, "Oh shit!" Like, but the reason I said that
I
is
was going to say, how does this tie in?
they're comedians. They do comedies and then they turn horror.
Out of
They're-
their element. Yeah.
They're actually some of them are pretty good. So I said Jordan Peele. He's obviously good. Someone told me Nope sucked. I'm not gonna tell you who it was, but he said Nope sucked, and I started telling him little stuff.
Well, someone personally?
Yeah, but they hadn't seen Get Out or Us.
But you don't need to see like the movie should stand on its own.
I know, but there's in all those movies there's little hidden shit. Like there's the movie, the regular movie, and then there's hidden shit.
Yeah, Nope is great. I don't. We'll
If
talk about this guy off camera.
If you just watch it like just like that, I can see how someone says that shit sucked. There's only 2 characters.
No,
There's like 3 characters.
well, we're not going to get into Nope right now. But overall, I feel it's like wrapping up already. I just 2 quick little notes. I really like Tess as a main character, especially in the first third of the movie, because she's making all the right moves. Like she doesn't know this guy. Like she's asking like they're sharing the Airbnb or whatever, and then she like asks him like, hey, like show me your reservation, and then like she keeps questioning him. She doesn't drink like the tea, and then like he's really nice and charming. Like they're getting along, and then it seems like you can't even trust him either. You can't trust Keith,
Yeah.
because the whole time. So are you just playing this long game? Like, are you good at this? Not until he dies is when you're just like,
Yeah.
okay.
It's like he wasn't
Yeah.
lying.
So the first 40 minutes of this
Keith
movie,
was a good guy.
yeah, the first 40 minutes of this movie,
dead
I
guy.
think were great, like 9 out of 10. After that, it does fall off. It's still interesting. I still want to see how it
I'm
plays
telling
out.
you, look at take the mutant out
That's the movie.
and it shoots up.
That's the whole movie. So you just wanted to be this old man that like,
Traps people, kills them.
and then I guess maybe that might make a
And
better story.
it would have ended with him where he shoots himself and shit. They get
Oh,
out.
right.
I mean, he could have had a son or still a daughter that's
Yeah.
helping him do shit where she's all like,
You just wanted a mutant family.
no, I didn't want a mutant family. Why is she a mutant? What did this guy do? And what's in Detroit water
So-
that these bastards are?
You wanted the old man with a gun.
Everything the same, just no mutant. Because look at, she ran her into the wall. That's one. She ran her into the wall. Boom. Then she busted through a cement wall.
Yeah.
Freaking boom.
Well,
Like
that
nothing.
when she
Ripped
busted through that
ripped his
cement
arm
wall.
off, holding his neck.
Yeah.
Ripped his arm off and then beat him with it.
That was straight up a Mortal Kombat fatality.
Gets tackled off the top. And freaking,
Ba-ba.
yeah, and gets shot in the face with like a 22, and you want me to believe she's dead?
So no,
was-
this is you wanting a sequel.
I
again.
barely thought, I was barely saying, I was like, she's going to shoot herself because she's like, I can't go back. So she's going to shoot herself. She's not going to shoot that thing. Like, it's not enough, but it'll kill me. She didn't do it.
So overall, 1 through 10, what do you think?
6 because I was entertained.
That was a strong 6.
6 because I was entertained.
I feel like that's your thoughts on most horror movies. It's just like you hate most of them, and then you're just like, yeah, but it was cool. It was all right.
you just need one good scene.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna join you there.
Like,
6 out of 10. I was gonna say 7, but yeah, I think it does fall off. Like, not so drastic. Like, I'm not bored or anything after, but like once we reveal the monster, it does go down from there. Now, Justin Long does keep the entertainment up. Like, he's an awful person, but he's hilarious. Like that scene where he's like, he has measuring tape and he's trying to see if he can like get more money on the square
shit,
footage.
He's just like, oh shit.
First, like he sees the room, and we see earlier Tess saw the room and was horrified. She instantly understood what it was. This guy sees it and is just like,
Yeah, it's an extra
fuck
room.
yeah.
Yeah,
And he
it's
starts
extra-
measuring.
He's Googling it.
He's sitting on the bed that's all dirty and everything, and then he finds the stairs and he starts measuring. He was hilarious, so he kept it up. But yeah, 6 out of 10. I'm with you.
6 and put a rotten pumpkin.
Nope, it has to be 59 and under. 6 out of 10 is still
It's a 6,
healthy
it's
pumpkin.
6 minus.
a 6 minus.
That's
Still,
6 minus, dude.
it's not 59. That's a 60 or 61.
Shit.
Sorry, dude.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, bitch.
Up next, we're gonna go into your movie Den of Thieves, which you recommended me. Let me pull up the little
6
plot synopsis here. Den of Thieves.
You could put a barely rotting, mushed pumpkin. You could say, psh.
Like, it has some brown spots on it, maybe.
It's a horror
the
movie.
stems
So
a little.
just-
Okay. Den of Thieves. Nick O'Brien is the hard-drinking leader of the Regulators, an elite unit of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Ray Merriman is the recently paroled leader of the Outlaws, a gang of ex-military men who use their expertise and tactical skills to evade the law. O'Brien, Merriman, and their crews soon find themselves on a direct collision course as the criminals hatch an elaborate plan for a seemingly impossible heist. The city's Federal Reserve Bank.
The Bank of Banks.
The Bank of Banks. Yeah, this movie was just throwing like a bunch of like numbers out where I was just like, I don't know if those are true, because like they said something. I could have swore, I'm gonna make it up right now. I could have swore they said something like there's like $200 billion in there, which could be true. Like for a federal bank, I don't know, but I was just like, God damn!
It's the way he was saying it, like they like filter the money and they hold the bank's money basically, and they give them new money, they exchange it. I mean, I guess because he said they get rid of $30 million every day. He said at the end of the day, they rip it up,
shred it. This movie started off and it had like some stats. Like it was just like, oh, this like in this city, there's this many bank robberies in a year, this many in a week, in a day, whatever. And then it said something. Again, I might be messing up the numbers here, but it said something like there's 9 bank robberies an hour in Los Angeles. So I was like, bullshit. There's no way that's true.
Never even hear one bank robbery. I was barely going to say.
There's no way banks are getting robbed
who's
left
robbing
and right
all
over
these
here.
in the South?
I swear someone made that up.
And shit.
This is like the Old West and shit.
But even if there was like, let's say 2 bank robberies today, wouldn't you think we'd freaking... I'm pretty sure it's something. But...
I know there's like little banks and everything, but still, 9
they don't
an
even
hour?
get out, huh?
Even if it's 9 a day, damn, that's a lot. But anyway,
9 a month, shit.
I know Los Angeles is crazy. Anyway, I thought that this movie was trying so hard to be cool. Like I'm talking about like almost every element. The crews that were together, the cast, like how they're just like, oh yeah, let's get 50 Cent. I'm sure Power was out at the time. Because I was like, why 50 Cent? Like 50 Cent is the second most important character in this crew, and he has like 3 lines that you can barely hear because he's 50 Cent. We know it's his freaking job. You can barely understand him. I just feel like this movie was exactly what I thought it was gonna be. Like just from seeing the cast and everything, like it was just this like high budget looking, but like low budget in like creativity and writing and characters. Like it almost did everything poorly. And I felt that, but you know me, like, I'm not going to go into it just wanting to hate a movie. This is a movie you've been recommending to me, kind of. Like every once in a while, oh, you've seen Den of Thieves or whatever.
What's his name though? Donnie?
Is that O'Shea? O'Shea Jackson is his name, right? I don't want to just call him Ice Cube's son. O'Shea Jackson was one of the better parts in this movie for sure. I think he was probably the best actor on the gang side or whatever. But yeah, I thought just overall, like this movie didn't do anything great. I have more cons than pros, but we'll get into that in a little bit. I just want to start off with the pros because I didn't like hate this movie. I just thought like I was just like middle of the road the whole time. Like it's like this isn't exciting. This isn't like so boring that I want to turn it off. Like I want to see how it plays out. But like we have. I said I was going to go into pros, but just one more quick thing. This story is really like 3 plots. The main plot is about the heist, right? I mean, like it's a heist movie. At least it's supposed to be a heist movie.
Yeah.
So we have the gang or they're not like a gang, but the group of robbers, bank robbers, and like
they played football.
They played football. I think they were in the military. A couple of them,
and the other dude,
Merriman, the main guy.
Yeah, they were in the army.
And then we have like the cops that are like bad cops. They even say like do we look like good cops? Like we are the bad cops. Which is leaded by Gerard Butler. So we have these 2 groups, and none of them are good. Like the gang or the group of friends, whatever, The bank robbers, they're not bad people. They kill if they have to. They don't mind killing cops, but again, if they have to. And then the cops do dirty shit, but we don't really see them doing too much dirty shit. We see O'Shea getting interrogated by them, which wasn't too bad, by the way. Like, he got choked out and immediately snitched. Yeah. And he's just like, oh, fuck, oh, shit, no. And I was like, dude, like, you didn't even get tortured, no fingernails got taken off, like, nothing. You just got choked and you snitched quick. But again, okay, let me. So it's about those 3 plots, like the bank heist with those 2 groups. And then we have, like, legit the second biggest plot, and this is, like, my biggest negative, is about Gerard Butler's private life with his divorce with his wife and his kids, and that brought down the movie
sees him at the
so
store
much.
and shit.
Yeah, like, I don't care about your
He goes down
family.
the same aisle, he's like, oh, shit.
And then the third plot is about this, like, rivalry between the main dude, Merriman, on the bank robbers, and then Gerard Butler's character. What's his name? Big something?
Big Nick.
Big Nick. That rivalry was pretty cool, but we got like 5 minutes of it. Of like them, like, I like how like they don't even talk. My favorite scene between them was when they're at the gun range. Like, they both know what's up. They both know that this heist is gonna go down. And
It's like Gone in 60 Seconds.
which part?
Well, he knows that Nicolas Cage is gonna steal the cars.
Again, I haven't seen that movie since I was a kid, man.
Yeah, the detective knows he's gonna steal the cars. He even visits them, like mid heist. He visits them, and he's like, "I know you're gonna steal these shits."
Yeah, but you haven't done it yet.
Yeah, and he has no proof, so he's like, "I can't bust in." But even when he gets out of jail, he's like, "Call that dude."
But it doesn't look like Gerard Butler wants to arrest him. Like, I don't think, like, they don't play with that at all. It's just like the cat and mouse of like, oh, you can't arrest me. Like, there's none of that there.
Well, that's why I think with him, he knows, like, we're gonna shoot out. Like, he's not gonna let me arrest him. Like, we're gonna shoot out eventually.
And that's the thing, like, that little rivalry is only in the third act, and it's only for a little bit before the heist, when it's just like, oh, it's me versus you. But anyway, my favorite scene is at the gun range, where 50 Cent's character, the main guy, Merriman, and that one dude from 8 Mile, Cheddar Bob from 8 Mile, they're right there at the gun range, and then Gerard Butler pulls up, and he thinks he's all cool. Like, he's, like, looking at them, and he's shooting, and then this dude, like, they're all reloading. That's another cool element in this movie, is all, like, the guns and, like, reloading and all that shit. They nailed that.
That's what I like. The guns that they use, they're not just, like, random.
They actually reload, too.
Yeah, because they're in the military. I like that they actually... They're like, I need this one for this shit and all that. So,
it has some cool moments. I'm not just going to completely shit on this movie. We'll get into it. But anyway, just to finish off this scene. So Gerard Butler's shooting, and he's like peeking over at the gun range. It's like, he's going back. I'm going to do it this way. He's like looking back at him. And then ex-military man, Merriman, the main dude of this, the bank robbers, he starts unloading. Like, he's like doing techniques. He's like, da-doon. Like, he's shooting at this thing. And then Gerard Butler's like noticing that, like, he's really good with the gun. Whatever. The crew leaves. Gerard Butler goes over to Merriman's station, presses the button, calls back and I knew it. I knew as soon as he stayed, I was like, this is gonna happen. They bring like the little like paper or whatever of like, you know, the target, and it's all just chest shots, like perfect aim. So that's like one more thing to hype up. Like, oh, this last scene's gonna be really good. But my pros besides that. The last action scene was like a Call of Duty mission. Like, I think there's a legit Call of Duty mission on like the highway where there's all this traffic and everybody's running around, and then they're all loading up. I'm like wondering how much I should explain, but if you're watching this far, then like maybe it doesn't matter. But point is, like, at the end, after all the robbery, guys are getting away with the money, but it's in LA, so there's a lot of traffic. And then this like force, this like the cop that's chasing Gerard Butler and his crew are behind them. Like, they're maybe like 20 cars, I think they say, like behind them, and they see each other. And then that's when, you know, they start loading all their guns. Excuse me. They start loading all their guns, and then like they both know the fight's about to go down. All the citizens are leaving the car. The camera's like panning over like all the cars and everything, so you can see like the battlefield. And then Merriman asks for an LMG. I forgot which. I think it says the saw. He's like, get me the saw. And I was just like, oh shit! Like the way that they hyped up the scene.
Pass me the saw. Let's go.
That's what I like. He set it up. He loads it like And then they still do their military things. He does the taps and all that. And
In the very beginning, I knew they were military trained. They're just making all these Call of Duty call outs and everything. In the very first scene when they're robbed.
to steal the truck.
Yeah. I was like, okay, so these guys are experienced, whatever.
That's what I liked, because it was like, all right, because all the time when they rob banks, they're like, oh, I met this guy in jail. He has a heist and all this shit. And it's like, you've just been doing heists on the street. Where did you learn how to snipe like this? Or like they were in the military, and it's like, all right, how do they trust each other or trust their other guys?
Yeah.
Their football.
And that's what I wish we would have spent.
This is almost like how Fast and Furious should have ended. Like,
I got some Fast and Furious vibes too during this, but like barely.
when they're hanging out.
But that's the thing, is like they didn't do enough to make me believe in their friendship. Like again, 50 Cent is the second most important character in this, and we don't know anything about him.
The whole Bad Boys thing, where he copied the whole Bad Boys thing.
What do you mean?
Where his daughter goes out.
Oh yeah! As soon as the guy came, because Jets is right here, she's like kind of paying attention to it. I was like, here we go. Here's the funny scene where we interrogate the guy. 50 Cent takes the boyfriend into the garage, and all the friends are there. They're all like kind of like giving him a hard time, whatever. Like they're scaring him. And as soon as the door closed, I told Jets, I was just like, and here's the part where they go, and then they went, and they're all shaking hands like, fuck yeah, bro, we got him. And I'm like, this is lame. And I think maybe, because Bad Boys did it better, because it's Will Smith and Martin Lawrence roasting you. I don't think you're going to survive that. Yep, bring up whatever you want. If you have any questions, I mean, I still have more to say, but if you have any questions for me, go for it. Or any thoughts yourself.
I mean, I like certain parts of the movie, like not the whole movie all crazy, but yeah, like the shootout scene. That's what I was saying. It's one of the best ones. That's why I like that when they actually died. Like they leave them there. They continue the thing. It's like not everybody's separated all crazy. Like it's literally a shootout from the freeway. They go like to the warehouses next to it, and then it ends right there. Like it's like. Yeah, it's almost like more realistic. Like, and then we seen his like they shoot the cop's friend. Oh shit! 50 Cent dies.
Yeah, I thought that this movie was gonna end with everybody dying because they were bad cops, so they're not good guys. And then we have the bank robbers, and like they're not good guys either. So I thought the only way this movie would end with all of them dying, and like none of the cops die. Like one of them was shot in the leg, but the whole heist team dies except for O'Shea Jackson's character, Donnie. You said, except for Donnie. Like, and we'll get into that later because I know exactly why you recommended me this movie. It's not because you thought it was a great movie; it's because it had a twist ending, and that's it. But I'm trying to think if I have any more comments. Let me look at my notes very quickly for you. I mean, I kind of already like talked shit about all like the acting and that it pretty much doesn't do well. The divorcing I hated. That was like the biggest. I'm telling waste you, of time.
That's what I was saying. Sometimes you don't have to. Edge of Tomorrow, you didn't need the girl. You didn't need her dipping. What was the other movie?
We're not going to get into that.
What was the other movie where I was like, the only thing they didn't need was the girl or whatever?
The problem with this movie is I think it did need more. Like, it was 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I was like, I feel like I don't even know these characers by the end. Like, they talk about...
If they had the money and then all this shit, it's like it would have been Chris Evans, the main one.
That was another thing, is that I just feel like it was miscast. It would have
been like Falcon as the cop on the other side. Like they would have, it was miscast. But see, that's my argument with the writer shit. Let's say the script is badass. Like when they wrote it, this is the shit. But look what they did to it. They ruined it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that happens a lot. Like more than we think.
If you give me a shit script or you give me a basic ass script and I could turn it into this.
To this,
like to like some
to just this,
no, to like some Marvel shit.
Oh, okay.
And then you're gonna get mad. It's like I'm still on that shit because I can't be a writer now. Like I said, blocking my opportunities.
Okay, we're not gonna get into your writing a Marvel movie again. Go watch which episode was that? The last one.
One of them, dude.
Go watch our other Versus series. See
the Ghost Rider
his thoughts on this. But yeah, just overall, I didn't connect with any of these characters. I didn't care about the heist at all because like I don't know them and I don't think that they love each other like that. Like when like one of them dies, I'm not like, oh no, 50 Cent's dead.
So right now, just real quick, this is off topic, but best heist movie.
Best heist movie?
I'm gonna say mine first.
Yeah, it sounds like you have an answer already.
Yeah, Logan Lucky.
Logan Lucky. That was a fun heist movie. What were they even robbing? Right, it was just like a smaller bank or
NASCAR.
something. Oh, was it NASCAR?
They robbed NASCAR.
We saw a movie in the theaters that I kind of like forgot it already. I remember like the characters being really funny. I think you bought the Blu-ray and everything.
That's funny as shit. Yeah, so it's funny, and they actually do the heist. Like this twist, everything's perfect though. It's like this guy. They break him. The hardest part of the heist was breaking him out of jail and putting him back before they noticed he was gone. The older brother.
Yeah.
That's the funniest shit ever, dude. They broke him out of jail. Yeah, they're two brothers, and it's their cousin.
Which is James Bond, huh? What's his name? Or is there like another one you mean? Because I don't.
There's two. Oh, okay. There's two brothers and their uncle, but the girl is their cousin.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, that's why, because he makes them the bacon and shit.
What's his name? Why am I forgetting his name? James
The
Bond
old
right
dude,
now.
huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
E? Is it with the E? Is it with
No,
the
I don't
I?
think so. I feel I. I sounds good. Are we getting there?
I don't remember his name. It's Ian Rappaport.
Ian Rappaport,
Might
that's
as well-
your go-to?
Might as well be.
Quick,
What?
name 5 celebrity Ians. Go. And you can count Ian Rappaport.
Ian Rappaport. Ian Gallagher.
I don't know. I couldn't name another one. Okay. So yeah, I didn't write any questions because this is your movie. I figured like if you have questions, you'll ask me.
Yeah, did you like, what's his name? Ice Cube's son.
O'Shea Jackson. Yeah, I liked him, but I see what they were doing with his character. Like they were trying to put him in the middle of, because he's not close
He's a
friends.
triple agent.
He's not close friend. Yeah, exactly. He's not close friends with the group, the robbers. He's like just their driver, and he's new to the crew. And then the police get him to like snitch. They choke him out, like I mentioned earlier, so he can snitch on them. But like they're not cool with him either.
Yeah.
So like I thought there would be some point where he would be all like, "Damn, like I don't know what to do because I'm stuck in the middle of both of these things here." But I mean, I guess at the end they kind of explain why he didn't feel that way, because he was actually the one in charge of, not in charge of everything, but it was Toby. It was, yeah, no, because he wasn't like hiding. The guy knew that he was in on it. So
no, the main guy knew, but not freaking.
Yeah, so O'Shea Jackson and the main dude Merriman. This was like I'm trying to think of the word for it, like a commission.
Yeah,
like it was both their ideas to rob this bank. So O'Shea Jackson, it gets revealed like at the very end. Turns out he's like British. He's like from like the UK or something. And there's a bunch of UFC fighters.
Well,
in this
is he
movie.
from there, or does he move there?
He's from there. He has the accent and everything. I don't think he'd be faking the accent. There'd be no reason to.
Yeah,
so
that's another heist.
But I mean, maybe, yeah, I don't think he's from there. Whatever. The point is, he has an accent. He's not really American. He worked at a bar that was next to that bank, and he was just waiting for a crew to come in like that to like sucker them in.
Did you see who he's homies with?
Yeah, what's freaking UFC fighter? What's his name?
No. Well, he just meets him. Like he's just the Diamond District guy that just goes into the bar.
No, the first one. There's another UFC fighter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but there was a
and which, because I know he's a UFC fighter, I'm forgetting his name. I know him. Like I see his face, and then later when they, because I thought he was friends with them, and I thought they were all like on this heist together. So later on, when like they're moving the money and they rob the trash man, and it's him, UFC fighter from the bar earlier, I'm just like, I'm so confused. I was like, I thought he was on your team.
Yeah.
And then when he wasn't, I was like, okay, well, they're doing something there because you have a recognizable face and I know you.
Yeah.
So that was dumb. I knew there was going to be some type of twist coming. But no, who do you mean? Who O'Shea was friends with?
Yeah, when they look at when the detective, when he finally looks up at the bar.
Yeah, well, like the Samoan guy, the other.
They played. Yeah, they all played soccer together.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, how those guys, they had their football team and their military team. This guy
played football.
He played soccer with these dudes, and it's like the proof was right there the whole time.
Soccer's better than football.
But the Hawaiian dudes, they were all in there. They were all in the bar, like all the time he was there. Like,
well, yeah, and that's the whole thing is like you can assume that he stayed at this bar, was waiting for a group of criminals because his whole saying was like something. It was like a sign on the wall. It was just like,
well, everything was in the bar. Like it was right there. Like if he just went to it, they would.
And that's how Gerard Butler finds out, is that he knows O'Shea is missing. He's the only one that's missing, and he goes back to the bar. He sees like the little sign that said like loose lips something. Yeah. And then he puts it all together, just like, oh shit, like this guy played everybody. So long story short, O'Shea was playing everybody. He got off with the money, had his own like third plan. So like you're saying, he's a triple agent. And as soon as that happened, I was like, this is why he recommended it to me. Just because it had this twist ending that was... I just think that everything in this movie that happens at the end was just not earned. The heist wasn't earned because there wasn't like this whole, like, let's plan out the heist. The only thing was O'Shea like doing like the Grubhub thing, and like he had extra Chipotle up there.
Too. The truck and the Chipotle thing. That's the only... Like as I said, everything else other than the heist should have been left out. His divorce...
That should have been left out, and we should have learned the group and their dynamics and their relationship more. That's it.
50 Cent costs a lot.
Does he? It's only 50 cents, right?
I like turtles.
I lost all my sound effects, all my basic ones.
Double down.
Oh no, that one's too long. That's like 10 seconds. But yeah, I'm ready to give it a rating if you are, unless you got anything else to say.
Yeah, I can't give it a 0.5. That's my only problem right now. Because I don't want to give it this, but you won't let me give it a 0.5, so I don't want to give it that.
I guess round up.
Well, that's the problem.
You don't want to go. You don't want to go too high.
No.
So you're gonna round down.
I don't want to.
Well, let me do my score force. Yeah. Score force. Let me give my score first. See. So, like I said, most of the time it was like middle of the road. So I was planning on giving it like a 5, like somewhere around there. 4 does seem too low. It sounds like I just like absolutely did not like it. So I think 5's good. I'm sticking at 5. This is a 5 out of 10.
Explosion.
Mark it. Yeah, right here. No, I'm not doing that.
I'm gonna give it a 6 then. I want to give it 6.5.
You can't.
That's what I'm saying. I give it a 6. I can't give it a 7.
Okay. Because I mean, it's your score. You can do whatever you want.
6.5 then.
No. No 0.5. So 6.
6.
Okay.
I think you got the picture, bro.
So we have 5 categories here that we rank these movies by. We have story, characters, visuals, sounds, and then the rating, which we've already given. So the movie that you've given me is the rating that you'll see on my name. So Den of Thieves should be on my list right here. Right here. Now it's here. So I gave it a 5 out of 10, and then Augie's ranking is Barbarian, what he thought about the movie I recommended him, which would be 6, right? You said?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just run through it. Which movie do you think had the better story? He's thinking. Audio listeners, he's thinking.
Screw it, mine had yours. Den of Thieves had a better story.
Mine, yours, Den of Thieves.
Yeah,
Den of Thieves has a better story. Okay,
only because the other one was like I said, he put all his stories. That shit had 8 stories.
It only had 1 story, and it had 3. It had one. It has 1 main plot. Like, there's no like subplots or anything. It's just 1 main plot and the explanation. Now you don't have to like the explanation, but it is not 8 stories.
You got 8 of them.
Sure.
But I picked Den of Thieves.
Okay.
Do that.
So for mine, obviously, I told you I don't even think it did a story well. So I'm going Barbarian because I think it starts off so strong. It does fall off a little bit. I don't think it's overcomplicated. I just don't think it's that great of an explanation. Den of Thieves, I just don't think it's a great story at all. I mean, again, a third of the movie is about this marriage, this divorce, and these kids, and
he's trying to redeem them.
I don't care about them. Like, he has like a scene where he goes to his daughter at school, and she's like, "When are you coming back?" and like all this stuff, and like, I don't care. I wish I cared because that stuff could work. I'm not saying that it was a bad idea. It just wasn't executed well. I don't know. I don't want to talk about characters yet, but like I'm not invested at all by the time the movie's ending, so I think that's a bad sign. Okay, up next, characters. You want me to go first or you?
You can go first.
Because I'm going back to Barbarian because these characters, I didn't think they're so one-dimensional, all of them. Now, I started off hating Gerard Butler's character. I was like, you're way too extra. You're way too much. Like, he was like the cool cop, and like at the crime scene, there was like donuts there. He goes, he eats the donut. He talks all cool.
And he tells him back up.
He throws the donut back at the crime scene. He's like, what are you doing? But by the time we got to the end of the movie, I was just like, at least this guy had a lot of character. And then O'Shea Jackson was pretty good too. But again, like 50 Cent is supposed to be important. Cheddar Bob is supposed to be not important, but like they're supposed to be important parts to this crew.
Yeah, he's a main part of the crew.
They just don't have much to do. Merriman, again, I think he was miscast. You put John Bernthal as like the leader of this crew, looking all cool and shit.
Nah, he would have been a cop.
I don't know, man. He's the Punisher.
He's the Punisher. You're gonna miscast this shit. That's why he needs a gun. He needs a freaking.
He's ex-military.
The one that got shot in the neck on the. It would have been him, and he wouldn't have got
50
shot.
Cent? 50 Cent got shot.
50 Cent got shot in the neck too.
Yeah, and then Cheddar Bob just got like annihilated.
He got blicky. Yeah, he got blicky down, dude.
So yeah, characters.
It was like a war. It was literally Warzone. That's what happens on Warzone. You're like, there's one left, one tap.
And he just chased him.
Yeah, he chased him.
He's all out of ammo. He just got a pistol.
He's hit. He said, I broke his armor. That's when he jumped over.
He's one shot.
And he was knocked. He was reviving. See, like it. And that's to the lobby.
He put plates on.
I bet you if you were to edit that shit and you were to put their health bar and shit like that and you do it.
And then what was up with, really quick sidebar, what's up with that one cop that was like trying to be cool with 50 Cent as he was dying? What was up with that?
He's dead.
But he was like trying to be cool. Like he was like,
well, he didn't have any personal. The whole personal thing was.
Well, that's the problem. Maybe there should have been some more. That way, because that was just a weird moment. They had never talked the whole movie, and then he's like,
"Well, that's why," because he was like struggling to hang on and all that. And then he told him you're in his hands now, and then he took his hand off because he was like, "Oh, well."
But like that doesn't match his character at all. He didn't even have any. That's the problem. They just didn't have any character.
There you go.
Because if he was like always doing that, like if that was his thing or something, like
let me go find that. You know, go ahead. I'm gonna go with Barbarian for character because those bastards had too much character. That's what I said.
Well, it's better than having no character like this one did. Gerard Butler.
They did their job. There were side characters. Everybody, even the homeless guy was a damn...
All right. Best performance out of both these movies, who do you give it to? Think about...
The homeless guy.
Bill Skarsgård was right there.
That guy chased her down in he would have ended the movie. He said, little girl, don't go in there.
I know. It was so dumb when he was doing that because he's trying to save her from going back into this house because he knows what's in there. The homeless guy is.
That's one thing you can look at this movie. Like, the way someone looks isn't always how they...
Yeah.
The old guy was old, but he's over here raping people. The other girl was a monster, but she wasn't killing people. Not unless you made her crazy. This guy who was the actor and all this shit, he was freaking raping people. This girl, she was probably the only normal one. The homeless guy looked like he was probably going to try to do something to her, and he was actually trying to save her.
He was actually trying to save her, but his dumbass is like, hey, little girl. First, he calls her a little girl, like all pervy. He's like, hey, little girl. He's like, he doesn't say don't go into that house. He says, hey, little girl, come here. And then when she goes inside, he says, come out of that house. Like, there's no, like, you're in danger. There's evil. Like, none of that. He just says, hey, little girl, come here. That doesn't help. As a matter of fact, the writing, if there's a writing thing on here, that's a negative.
See, like,
there's a writing category we had? No, so characters, you're saying Barbarian. But yeah, best performance I'm giving it to Bill Skarsgård. What did you mean, man? That dude was charming, a little creepy, but it all worked.
Acting
/ characters is like what this is for those who don't know.
No, I picked the
Barbarian.
But
like legit because the homeless guy, that was your...
No, not because of him. Just because they had more character, like that. Like we saw that guy was actually lying the whole time. He did rape that girl. This other guy, he did his whole story. That the mutant just wanted to be a mom, like he wanted to be normal, probably.
Yeah,
like so they all had more character. I just like this one because the whole scene at the end, like the shooting shit and how detailed they got. Like I said, like he was like, give me a scar and shit. And like,
on your movie, yeah.
Like that shit was badass about it. 50 Cent being in it, I was badass about it. But not Not like crazy.
I mean,
like,
he's just 50 Cent. Like, he doesn't do anything.
coming off Get Rich or Die Trying.
And from 2005, 15 years later.
You name someone else with a 15-year gap.
Probably Cheddar Bob. I haven't seen him since 8 Mile.
Same around the same time. It was like, that's all they're giving me.
So, up next, visuals.
Hey, and he was in Detroit. It's Cheddar,
Really?
It was Cheddar Bob.
He just plays like
No, it
that
wasn't
extra
Detroit.
guy.
Detroit was your movie.
Detroit was...
Was your movie.
No, I think you told me to watch that movie.
No.
The one with Anthony Mackie?
No.
Oh, you mean like the setting?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Have you seen
Detroit was my movie. Yeah. You told me to watch that one.
Fire,
that one's
dude.
good.
Look at the movies I'm sending you over there. Detroit.
You're trying to make up for what you just did this time?
No, this one was what this whole series was based off of. This freaking movie right here. This
No,
freaking-
it wasn't. It was off of what is the
Pursuit
first
of
one?
Happiness was
that was the one.
That was like, you need to watch this.
You were telling me for like 5, 6, maybe 7 years, watch Pursuit of Happiness. That was like
But the first movie that fell, where it was like it blocked the drain, was freaking Den of Thieves. That was the one that blocked the drain,
Yeah.
and then it started piling on.
Okay. Next up is visuals. Now this one I think could go. I'll go first. I think could go either way for me because they were both shot really well. I am going to give it to Barbarian because of like how much stuff they do with the camera and again visually, like all the different settings. It was one area, but it looks so different. Like when we go to flashback, again, same area, same house. Flashback looked totally different. It's vibrant because it's like in the 50s or whatever. And then like when it's really like dark, it looks all gross and sticky and nasty and all that. Which is like what they're doing with the camera and everything. I think horror movies just demand more because there's so much like, oh, I like look at the door, like the camera's just moving around more. It's like focusing your attention and you're supposed to be picking up key things. But like not a knock. Like again, I've been knocking this movie, Den of Thieves, but visually it did look really good. Like the first shot of LA, like at night with like the water on the ground, like the lights and everything, it looked really good. So like they're like neck and neck for me. But I did notice like when I was watching it, I was just because I watched Den of Thieves first. I saw Barbarian today before you got here, and I was just like, I'm giving directing to or like visuals / directing to Barbarian, but barely by a hair.
I would have gave it to Barbarian, but he dropped his shit once they went in the basement. But I mean, you can't do shit really in the dark. But like I said, like
what about like all like the scary stuff? Like when it was dark and like the flashlight and like she was like creeping up.
Well, I mean,
cool.
everybody's kind of done that one.
Yeah, but I like the way that it looked here. Like it looked like it wasn't just like a light. It looked like there was darkness.
Speaking of that, like something that gets closer, I thought of this. It was when me and Pedro used to watch the scary videos. There's something in the pantry. It's like a long pantry in like Brazil, and they're opening and closing the door like that, and you could see something slowly like getting closer. That's the craziest one, and they don't use any light.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it was like there's like a glass pantry, and you could see like it's like a little hallway, like a little.
There's something in the pantry.
I'm
I'm not adding that clip in here for you guys. You guys better look up that scary shit by yourself.
There's something in the back, and then they close the door, and then
isn't it like inching like closer like that?
It's going
yeah,
slower,
that
like,
sounds familiar.
to them. And then when they close the door at the end, you could see it, the outline of it on the glass, like
Done.
But that's the scariest one but yeah, I would have gave it to them, like how they did the whole side shot when they're. That's the one thing I was saying about the comedians. I think these bastards have good ass shots, but like he like I said, he
These
did drop
comedians
it.
turned directors. Pretty good at it.
He did drop it, but I'll only give it to Den of Thieves because those damn city shots, dude.
You like those? I forgot what they call those. Like for
city
setting.
shots. You know what's been pretty badass? Some people hate it, but I've seen it on Instagram. It says if Spider-Man was shot vertically and shit.
Yeah, I don't like that because it just looks weird.
Some of them look badass though.
There are some shots that look cool, but then for the most part, it looks like, well, yeah, like look how much empty space is there. That's why it's not shot that way.
When they redid how Spider-Man would have dropped if it was dropped vertically, and then they changed like he narrated it and everything. That shit looked like a serious Spider-Man movie. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I can imagine what you're saying.
Yeah, it's shot like that. And then he's like,
videos.
there was a man. And then you just see him crawling and shit. And it's like, you don't see him actually swing until the end of the trailer.
A Spider-Man.
Crazy. What's his name? Widowmaker?
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to remember the line. I always had a fear of spiders.
They're
Okay.
gonna cast your ass as freaking Widowmaker.
Hell yeah. I got the buns for it. I got cheeks.
Yeah, you do.
Sure do. Okay. Last category, and then we'll finally pick our favorite movie out of these two. Is sounds. Now, sounds, you want to go first or me? I've been going first, but I don't mind. I have an answer.
You can go because I feel like none of them had sounds.
For sounds,
Like, I'll
again,
be going
like
off sound effects. Really.
that's fine. Sounds is everything. Sound effects, the score,
And-
the soundtrack. Soundtrack, not really big on any of these. They're like was hardly anything. Like the score, I really like Barbarian's score. At least like at the very beginning, like how the movie opens, it sounded really creepy, and just how they set everything up was really nice. But I'm actually gonna give this to Den of Thieves because I feel like the one positive is how accurate the guns looked, sounded, and felt. That shit was bumping right here in this living room. And it made the action scenes cool. So I'm actually giving the sound to Den of Thieves. So it almost got visuals too. So like technically, Den of Thieves was great. But it's just I have a problem with the stories and characters and the stuff that I really like about it. But go ahead.
If it's score like that, like just the like when you know something's coming, or then I would have to go. I would have to go freaking Barbarian. But like I said, if it's because it's either the score versus the sound effects, really. And like I said, that scene at the end, like how you're saying, it probably wasn't freaking. They didn't earn it, but that shit was badass. Just how it starts, because it's like everybody's calm. All this shit.
Even like the twist. I don't think it was like a cool twist, but
it wasn't.
No, I'm sorry. It wasn't earned,
You know
but I
what
was
it
just
was?
like, it's all right.
You took too long to watch this movie.
No. When did it come out? Like 2018?
There's certain movies where it's in that time. Like this, like
It's a period piece.
What's his name?
O'Shea Jackson. Yeah.
O'Shea. Like his time is like he was in Pacific Rim. Like there was his marketing people.
He was in Godzilla too.
Finn, when freaking Star Wars. Since you said that shit,
he's doing stuff. He just dropped a movie on Netflix.
Well, everybody's doing stuff.
They cloned Tyrone. Have you heard about that movie?
I want to see that shit.
I want to see it too. I haven't seen it.
I've heard some people say it sucks, and I've heard some people say it's like
really. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
That's what I'm saying. It's either one or the other, but I think it's because the whole like when he's like it's in the chicken. Like I think it's because they're saying it's stereotypical,
right?
But I think that's the point of it. It's like
I'm assuming, just by the looks of it and like that, like the commentary, I assumed it was like a black director, but
and then
who knows?
They obviously don't know John Boyega's history when he did that whole shit when he's like, "Stay home, what's Naruto?" You know what I'm talking
His
about?
whole history? No, I don't.
That weird ass movie he was in before. It was like there's like aliens that come out at night in the UK.
Oh, Attack the Block.
Yeah,
I seen that movie because it looked.
Like, go home. What's Naruto?
It looked really cool. Did not like it, and I was surprised because it looked like my kind of movie. I love John Boyega, and it was a cool setting. Did not like it at all.
See,
maybe not at all. I'll probably give it like a 5 too, but
you just told me Atmosphere dropped some shit.
Why are you bringing this up?
No, because I'm saying you said he's still doing stuff.
Yeah,
that's why I said everybody's doing stuff. It doesn't mean it's freaking good. You're not on the top no more. Like you're freaking. I saw a thing of Lady Gaga.
Auggie, I watched movies from the 80s with actors that I don't even know about. And
oh, like, yeah, I'll still watch some
it should be good because it's good.
Then it's timeless. That's why I said, what's a 10?
What's a 10? I don't even think I answered your question last time. I think I told you. No, well, I have a 10. Spider-Verse is a 10.
You don't want to know why that's not a 10?
Sure.
Because when you see a 10, that one's not going to be a 10 still. You're going to be like, I didn't know there was anything past this.
I feel like you're talking for me. No. And this is how you see 10s. This is your list.
There'll never be a 10. And that's
you.
That's what I'm telling you right now. This is like
there's never going to be a perfect movie.
This is like it was a 9.8. You said
Jurassic Park 10.
The first one?
Yeah. They've made like 6 movies because the first one was so perfect, and none of them have lived up to it.
Universal.
Yeah. So are you agreeing that it's you normally have something to say.
No, it's up there. That's what I'm saying. There's movies that are like 9.8s, 9.7s, but
see, I don't know why people do that. There's not. How do you have 100 different feelings about a movie? Because if you go 1.1, 1.2, like all the way up to 9.9 and 10 to 10, that's 100 points. You have 100 different feelings.
You can't tell me that because why is freaking Lysol 99% then just put the 100?
I don't know. I think you sent me the video of like the hand sanitizer.
You double it up. You do it twice.
Where they said a hand sanitizer, he's like, kills 99% of germs. Watch this. He does it again. I just killed the other 0.1%. Anyway, we've gone way off track. So sounds, you said Barbarian because of like all like the
Barbarian, the first
suspense and all that. It builds suspense.
Oh no, that's the camera shit. I like the Barbarian score. I like the Den of Thieves guns. I wish I can go neutral. I'm gonna go sounds and all that shit. I'm gonna give it to Den of Thieves, and I'm actually gonna give the story to Barbarian.
You switched up?
Yeah.
The graphic just changed. That's another edit for me. Look what you did.
Because you had 8 stories, not just one.
Sure.
So
there's 8 stories in here. So finally, between the two, which one do you like better? What's your favorite between the two? Now, again, for those while he's thinking, for those watching, for those listening, just because there's like, just because the scoreboard's a little bit different, you know, like let's say like all my picks were Barbarian. Maybe I just think that it's a better made movie, but maybe I like Den of Thieves more. Who knows? I can realize that something's trash and still like it more.
Yeah.
So this isn't a math equation. At the end, it's just feeling. It goes back to feeling. Which one do you like more?
I'm gonna have to pick Den of Thieves because because the horror movies are hard. They're freaking hard, like
hard as hell. It's a hard shit.
Some of them, huh? Yeah, it's hard, dude. Like paranormal. Like I would put the ones that are up there, like recently.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go back in time. And,
The Exorcist.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
You're gonna see that new Exorcist movie? Have you seen the trailer?
Probably not, dude. I
might make you. Let's do a review. It's October.
Oh God, dude!
I would love to hear your first reaction to a new horror movie.
I mean, I did. This was 2022. A lot of the ones second.
That's
That's
true.
what I was saying about Insidious. Like they should have ended with the first or second one, and then just leave it. Like now you got everybody.
Okay.
You got the Avengers teaming up. So it's like the horror movies now. That's why I said we got to go practical. Let's take over this horror movie shit. Let's take it over. There's practical. I just seen Halloween Town yesterday. I seen Halloween Town. Some of those bastards look scarier than some of the movies you see. I'm telling you, if that skull guy picked your ass up, you'd be way more scared than if you saw this
messed up jaw.
And this freaking demon. This demon had his titties out.
It wasn't a demon. It was a mutant.
Oh, a mutant. This mutant had his titties out. Couldn't even give her a
titties.
shirt.
You identify her correctly.
She can. Hey! How dare you? How dare you identify someone? You can't.
She said, "Baba, baba, baba."
Baba had her titties out. Okay, that's all.
Baba's titties were out.
For some reason, she was ready to milk like 24/7. Dude, she was just like, "You got a mouth, I'm feeding you." And shit. But see what I mean?
You got a mouth, I got a titty.
So the new horror movies, they're just CGI, and they try to make them gross. There's like, let's make this guy freaking spit out some black shit.
Yeah.
And then what else? Let's cover her in mud, and then what else? Like the craziest scene in this shit was when she ripped the arm off. I was like, that's crazy. Like they tore it. Like you know how much
slowly.
CGI that shit is?
That was not CGI.
I went into a mustache. I was talking about Superman's mustache because of that shit. That wasn't CGI.
You start laughing.
They ripped his shit off her.
No, it's. What do you think they did before? Yeah, it's practical. At least I thought it didn't look like
in
CG.
between, it was still a little.
Well, yeah, you add some special effects.
That was a lot, though. But anyways, a lot of the new movies, they try to make them gross and they're CGI, and it's like if they make them practical, like Transformers, like what's it called? Your number 10, Jurassic Park. That shit, the dinosaur still looks badass.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even
the CG they do have in there, like when the T-Rex is out at night and everything, it still looks really good.
The Transformers is kind of getting pushed a little bit. Like this, you could see, like it's almost like you can see the outline of Optimus.
Yeah,
But
No, I
it's
get
still
you.
it's still pretty nice.
The MCU's been having that problem too, which is like you can tell.
But they're having that now. That shit's from like 2008. Like we've got like what 12 years, whatever amount of freaking years.
oh, what, the MCU?
Transformers.
Oh, okay.
That
gotcha.
movie.
Yeah.
We're talking about an MCU movie that came out last week. Not even you're watching it live and you're just like this shit. Like when did they have this shit done, dude? But
They just finished that shit.
yeah, they're all CGI and everything. I'm telling you, we go practical. This shit's done. They don't even have knives anymore that poke the people.
So that's why you like Den of Thieves more.
No, I'm not gonna watch it again. I'm not gonna. The horror
Yeah.
the horror movies. You have to be like good. Like the most recent horror movies, where I'm like those shits are pretty.
Well, you
badass.
said you said paranormal, and
then
give me two more. Give me two more.
Get Out, Us, and Nope. I like all three of those. Like those.
Well, yeah.
So far, I was like,
Nope's not horror. I guess kind of.
that's
It is until it's not.
That's the thing. It's like, and then if you want to go, like the Michael Myers movie, you seen that shit? They were giving this guy kill streaks.
For real, yeah.
They were just like, you know what? 1 or 2 kills ain't enough no more. Like it's not worth them.
I like that new one. Did you watch the newest one?
That's
Or
one. I
newest
didn't
one?
watch it, but you and Michael both told me
It's weird, but it's good.
that he's
I
like
liked it.
he's going crazy, dude. It's like
No, that's Halloween Kills, but then
one
Halloween
before?
Yeah, Halloween.
okay, I see now and
ends.
then.
Yeah,
I didn't see the when it ends again.
Yeah.
Ends again.
All right,
again.
Again.
3 again, dude.
I am obviously picking Barbarian because you know me. I love story, I love characters. I've explained that to you.
I only watched this movie again because of you. Well, because of this, but I wouldn't even watch Den of Thieves.
Yeah.
See it outdated for me now.
So I've already explained why I'm not a big fan of Den of Thieves. So I mean, Barbarian. I'll just explain.
Oh, shit.
I'll just give it a little more. Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh shit!
This isn't a movie I think I would have watched again. It's a movie I wanted to see your reaction to, so I watched again to make sure I can ask you everything I want to.
Gabriel is better than this.
Oh, Malignant! I really like Malignant, man. Like I'll give that shit an 8 out of 10, and I'll watch that again. Like it's kind of like gonna be a little like tradition for us, I think, because we saw it 2 years in a row now. We're probably gonna watch it again this October. It's just a ridiculous, over the top movie. I don't want to spoil that though, just for anybody who wants to see it. But yeah, this movie, I think is okay. I think it's a good movie watching experience. Like if you're watching with a group of people. I mean, most horror movies are, but I think this one is cool because it starts off one way and then it changes and it changes again. And I think that's a cool viewing experience. But rewatching it, I'm just like, yeah, 6. You're right. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. And that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say about that. Anything else? You want to get the hell out of here? Closing thoughts? He's thinking. He wants to say something. He's just shaking his head for audio listeners. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what to.
Closing thoughts. Where do you want to leave this movie in this time capsule?
I want to leave this movie. Is what I want.
Both?
Yeah,
Both
I can finally move on from Den of Thieves. You watched it.
Finally move on. I got this weight off my shoulders.
I can.
Yeah, you got nothing else to say. You want to.
Not about these two.
Okay.
I really.
Yeah, I just want a podcast now. I just want to talk about other stuff.
No, I can do that shit. Freaking, your camera wouldn't have enough time for this shit.
All right,
but
we do have one more segment, so we'll do the final one and then we'll get
Is it
out
what I'm gonna watch
for next week? Next time. So, final segment for this one. What am I watching next time, Auggie? For round 4 of our Versus series. I kind of want to give you a drama. I think it might be a little long. Yeah. It's a movie that I've brought up before. I do want to... I want to hear your thoughts on it. Because I think, again, this is one of those movies where you're just like only going to focus on one part of it, I think. But we'll see.
I only have 2 movies. One you barely said you haven't. So I only had 1 movie, really.
You need to make that list. I got like 30 for you.
How do you know? You don't know what I've seen.
Oh, I know.
And I don't know what you've seen. That's the hard part.
Well, we got to have a talk. We got to have a... Have you seen this? I'll be, no. We'll come up with like 30. And then they come at me randomly.
Then because I've already seen this, you're gonna give me a drama. I'm gonna give you a drama.
Okay. Go for it.
A ghost story.
I knew it was coming.
Freaking-
It's fine. Pursuit of Happiness at this point was like a month ago. So if a ghost story is like as sad or depressing, I think I could do it now. How long is it? Is it over 2 hours?
Shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
It's a ghost.
All right, whatever that means. And so the drama I want you to see.
Tell you this.
Oh, a little preview.
You're gonna watch a ghost story. I'll be surprised if Casey Anthony says more than 3 lines.
Casey Affleck. Why did you say Casey
God
Anthony
damn.
again?
It just rolls. It fits better. It's just there's only one Affleck.
This is the second time that you said Casey Anthony. You have a problem, man. One time's a mistake. 2 times I think you like Casey Anthony. Anyway, before we go too dark into that, I'm not going to let you comment on that. I'm not going to let you respond.
I didn't say nothing.
I am going to have you watch a little movie called Foxcatcher. Do you know what this is?
Sounds familiar.
It is the story about
With glasses? A dude with glasses?
No. That's the whole plot of the movie, just a dude with glasses.
No, it's a movie. I'm not gonna.
This movie stars Steve Carell and Channing Tatum. Steve Carell is his wrestling coach. Why'd you say like that?
Because I think I've seen it or I know what happens and everything. Can I go?
Can you go
cook?
what? Can you cook? What do you mean?
Like, I think I know what happens and everything. I think I know.
Well,
I think I've seen it.
How do you not know if you've seen this or not?
Well, it's because I know what happens, but I think because I've seen it or.
Okay. Do you want to try to explain what happens?
Yeah, he's his freaking trainer and all that shit, and then I don't know if he gets jealous of him or what, but he blickies him down. He blickies him down, dude. Right?
So have you seen the movie or not?
I think so, but it was a long time ago.
It came out like 2017.
I watched it, I want to say, when I was
6 years
watching
ago.
everything, like Hell or High Water, like all those movies.
High or Hell Water. Fine. You see? I have my list. Since you don't want
You lifted it.
I would have loved to talk about Foxcatcher in the ending. I mean, something kind of is what happens. I don't think you've actually seen it.
He goes in with the gun and everything. He freaking...
Well, that's the trailer. Maybe you've seen the trailer.
He blickies him.
Somebody gets blickied.
He blickies himself.
So do you want to see it? Do you want to try it? Or do you want me to give you something else?
Give me that one and another one. And if I haven't, I'll watch that one. And if I'm like, all right, I freaking seen this shit, then...
No. We're moving on. Have you seen the movie Looper?
Are you talking about
with Bruce Willis?
with Bruce Willis?
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, I seen Looper.
Okay, well,
it's himself.
I got more. Have you actually seen Jojo Rabbit?
I rented it and I had it on.
What's up with you? Why are you making it so difficult for me? Have you seen these movies or not?
And I had it on, and I'm telling you, it's the one with Hitler, right?
Yeah, with Taika Waititi.
It's a musical and everything.
It's not a musical.
They have a dance. Shit.
I think there might be some dancing involved at some point.
I'll watch that one.
You're gonna do that one.
Yeah.
That one didn't come out too long ago. It was like 2018 or 19. So if you don't remember that one, do you know? All right. Do you think can you remember any plot points at all? Like something big that happened?
Yeah, he's Hitler.
No, something big that. Okay, so I don't think you've seen it.
Or he's not Hitler. He's freaking. He is Hitler.
Taika Waititi plays Hitler.
I feel like this movie is almost like The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
It's not.
You seen The Boy in the Striped Pajamas?
That's a depressing, like realistic take on the situation. This is more of like a whimsical.
Yeah, well, it's Taika.
Yeah, it's Taika.
Thor 5 in the works. You seen that?
Anyway,
Thor 5 in the works. It's Taika.
I'm trying to like find a way to put where do I put the 5 like instead of the T. Maybe instead of the H.
Dive.
4. All right, it's time. We've hit our creative limit.
I guess you could give me some movies.
Yeah, we'll talk off camera.
Not that I could watch, but that you haven't watched.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Because I'm hitting my list. I'm running.
You're running low on recommendations,
and that's. I mean, I could look. I have movies that I probably have.
Yeah.
That I bought that you haven't freaking seen.
We'll do that. We'll do it off camera. But that's our show. That's our versus round 3. I win again.
Do you?
There's no winning.
The
Unless
chat will say.
there's no winning, but it's just if I can convince you to like a movie more than you recommended, I guess that's like one
Chat,
for
pick
me.
my movie.
Chat.
Pick my movie.
There's going to be a
chat.
poll. Anyway, until next time, or actually, next time, just final preview, it's going to be, what movie did you say?
Flash.
A Ghost Story. I'm going to watch A Ghost Story for him. He's going to watch Jojo Rabbit for me. That's actually a pretty good matchup. Taika Waititi versus, I don't know who directs yours, but I heard that's a good movie. Casey Anthony's in it.
It's a great movie, and if you don't, first question is if you dropped a tear.
Okay.
You watch it with Jets,
She'll drop a tear.
not so she could cry, but so she could wipe yours.
So she can hold me while I cry.
Yeah, well,
All right, that'll do it for us. Again, if you made it this far, you're not subscribed or you haven't liked, go ahead, hit both.
not just,
I don't promote the bell, but hey, if you made it this far, smack that bell.
that shit.
Smack
And
that.
the new time
The new time?
at 2.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if people actually give a shit about that, but yeah, uploads Fridays at 2 now instead of Fridays at 10 every Friday. Keep it locked. Keep it here. we need a cool slogan. But anyway, till next
Let
time.
it rip.
That's stealing. Until next time.
If you've seen it, it fits.
Let it rip.